right now on Facebook and YouTube. A little different angle for the YouTube followers this week. You're looking at the other half of my office, and follow me on Facebook. It's the same old view as before, with a little backdrop of a bookcase and some random cords going around. And if you're on YouTube, you're looking at my desk over here and my alarm clock that's on the wrong time. Anyway, let's get into the questions that people have sent over the last week, and let's try to tackle them in no real particular order other than the way that they came in. So, first question that I got in the last week came from Joan, who asked me, do you have a suggestion for a way to move my folders from one Google Drive to another? I'm moving and want to take with me my work folders. So Joan, I actually made a video about this for you, and it's on the YouTube channel. It's on the YouTube channel. But if you haven't seen it yet, or anyone else who's curious about this question and you haven't seen it, there are two options that I recommend. Number one, share it with yourself. So create a Gmail account, or get your account set up at your new employer and share all your stuff between those two accounts. If you don't have your new account from your new employer yet, set up a Gmail account, share everything in folders to yourself, and then share it again. The other option is to download all your folders as zip files and then upload them to your new Google Drive account when you get that set up. So there's a couple of options there. You're not stuck losing all your stuff just because you change jobs. All right. Question I got from John was that we have students needing to digitally draw for a create your own shoe project in a business ed class. Sounds like a cool class, actually. Will you please recommend a few digital resources that I can use, or that they can use? Sorry. So a couple of suggestions that I had for John. Number one, Google Drawings. You can use that in your web browser and draw with your mouse, or better yet, if you have a touchscreen computer, you could use a stylus and draw that way. You can also try Jamboard, which anyone can get through a G Suite account, so you can try that. You can also try out Lucid Chart. Lucid Chart has tools for drawing and diagramming, so check that out. But my other suggestion for John was to check out the work of Tony Vincent. Tony Vincent's my go-to person for anything visual design. Tony has awesome graphics. He actually has a class that he teaches online called Classy Graphics. And I highly recommend checking out Tony's work. You can find his site at learninginhand.com. I think it's .com, might be .net. But anyway, Tony Vincent, Learning in Hand, great stuff for visual design. Check that out. All right. My third question of the day, or of the week, I should say, came from Marnie. Hey, Marnie. And Marnie asked about some flashcards. She said, a while back, you posted about how to create flashcards that open in your browser when you sign on to the web. For the life of me, I can't remember if this was an extension or a site. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? I'd like to share it with a parent who's struggling with math facts. I think Marnie was looking for flippity.net, which lets you open up or create flashcards using Google Spreadsheets. I think that's what you're looking for. The other option, there are some extensions like Dayboard that will open up a little reminder for you, or other reminders every time you open a new tab in your Chrome browser. So it could have been that. It could have been a Chrome extension that you're looking for that opens up a reminder or a little note when you open up a new tab. So check that out, Marnie. The next question came from Shelly, who asked me about interactive video. Do you have a recommendation on how to make interactive videos? I looked at YouTube's editor. It appears to only work for approved partners. Yeah, so YouTube used to have a tool called annotations that would let you link from one video to the next of your own videos in the series, I should say. So you could link from one to the next. Unfortunately, now YouTube only allows you to link to a channel, to promote a channel, or to promote approved products or approved vendors, or so basically you can link to one place. You can link to yourself. You can link to your own website, but you couldn't link to anything else. So if you wanted to do like a video where you have a whole bunch of links going to different places on the web, you can't do that in YouTube's editor anymore. What you could use is ThingLink's video editor. So check it out at thinglink.com. Thinglink.com has its own interactive video editor. You can incorporate a video that you own, or you can incorporate a video that you find on YouTube or other places on the web, and you can add little interactive pin marks into that. So check out ThingLink Video, thinglink.com. There is an education version. The education version gives you some extra features like student management features, but you can also just try it out for free without the education version. All right. And hello, Facebook. Someone just joined us. Hey, YouTube. A few people joined us there. So I'm looking for some. This one came from Caroline. Hey, Caroline. So I'm looking for some excellent math apps for grades 1 and 2. Any suggestions that are free or relatively less expensive? I'm also looking so they can be all linked to the iPads in the classroom without having to buy each app separately. So Caroline, to answer your second question or your second request there, it sounds like you need to get set up with Apple Volume Purchasing Program, and you probably also need to set up your iPad management system so that you're not manually purchasing it on each individual iPad. That's the first thing, and your IT administrator can probably do that for you. Number 2, some excellent math apps for grades 1 and 2. That's a wide open. That's wide open. So I'll just share a couple of them that came to mind for me. The first one is Math Vocabulary Cards by Math Learning Center. Actually, anything by Math Learning Center is really good, in my opinion. And the other one is Math Duel. So Math Vocabulary Cards is more practice activity type of things. Math Duel is more like a game. Well, not more like, it is a game. The thing that's neat about Math Duel, or cool about Math Duel, is that you can have 2 kids playing on the same iPad, and they kind of play head to head, almost like in a Battleship sort of setup. If you ever played Battleship back in, when Battleship was cool, you're kind of head to head. Do the same thing with your iPad. You're kind of sharing the iPad. The producers of Math Duel have a similar game called Geography Duel, so check that out too. All right. Good luck with that one, Caroline. I hope that helped you a little bit. All right. Another iPad question. A lot of iPad questions this week. So from Alicia, I'm seeing a lot of great things about choice boards, online stations, etc. This is a component I want to implement for next year. However, I'd like to be able to add my voice to a Google slide so that students can hear directions from me. Is this possible on the iPad? How exactly would I do this? I'm seeing a lot of tutorials online, but nothing is instructing me on how to make this work for students on an iPad. All right. So, Alicia, you can't do it directly on the iPad. You can't do the recording, I should say, directly on the iPad. What you could do is use Audio Player for Google Slides on a Chromebook or a MacBook or a Windows computer, anything that has a Chrome web browser. And I know you can put the Chrome web browser on an iPad, but it doesn't work that way. It won't work there. So on one of those 3 platforms, on the Chrome web browser, Audio Player for Google Slides will let you add audio to your Google Slides. Now, you could record the audio, and you'll need to record the audio in advance, and then add it in using the Audio Player for Google Slides. Then when students play the slides back on the iPad, they'll hear the audio. So try that out, Alicia. And Alicia, I sent you some tutorials on that, actually. So hopefully you got those already. All right. 2 more questions that were sent in advance, and then anything that any of you who are watching live want to ask, feel free to join in anytime. Question from Claire. How are schools using Google Cardboard? Are they buying iPods or iPhones? Is there an affordable option that schools are using? I can't speak for every school that's using Google Cardboard. I will say this, probably your best option, Claire, if you're trying to get started, is to have a BYOD. If your school can support BYOD, you try that. There are companies like Best Buy that are selling complete Google Expedition kits that include the mobile devices and the wireless hotspot and the cardboard viewers. They're pretty expensive, so you might want to try BYOD. Consider asking parents to send in some hand-me-down devices that don't have cellular service turned on anymore, and make sure they clear out all the other stuff that's on them. Now, when you do that, there are some minimum requirements you're going to need for those. They're going to need a gyroscope to really work correctly. And I do have a spreadsheet on my blog of devices that do support Google Expeditions, and so I'll bring that back up. I'll put that back up at the top of the blog later this week. So those are a couple of options there, Claire. Don't have a silver bullet for you on that one, unfortunately. All right. And finally, from Jennifer. Jennifer asked about, well, I'll just read the question verbatim. The comment from Jennifer verbatim. Here we go. She said, our district is looking for a way to record test questions and answer choices so that a student can click on a question and have just one read to them. I normally read the whole test using Audacity and download one MP3 file, but they want smaller chunks. Wiser is too inconsistent. I searched your site, didn't see anything that already existed. Any ideas? So Jennifer, you beat me to the punch. Wiser would have been my first suggestion. Short of that, I'm going to say, take a look at the screen readers that are available to you. I don't know what your school has set up for computers or iPads or Android tablets. They didn't really tell me that, but I would take a look at some of the screen readers that are available to you, because many of those will do exactly what you're asking, which is to read the question and answer choices to the students. And then you wouldn't have to record your own files. That could save you a whole lot of time. Now, again, you have to check and see which devices you have and what your screen reader options are. But there are more and more screen reader options all the time. So that's what I would try. All right. Any other questions come in? Questions, comments, concerns, derogatory remarks? I shouldn't say that on YouTube. I should never say derogatory remarks on YouTube. You probably get them. I'll probably get them. All right, well, thanks for joining me for the last 13 minutes of me rambling and answering questions. If you have a question for me, feel free to send me an email. richard@byrne.media is my email address, or fill out the Google form that I have on freetechforteachers.com. And since I have your attention for a minute, I'm just going to give a plug for the Practical EdTech Summer Camp. It is cold here in Maine right now, but I promise that in July it's going to be nice and sunny and warm, but not too hot. And it's going to be a perfect environment for 2 days of hands-on learning in a collaborative environment. Registration is limited to 25 people. We have 18 seats left. Register in March, you'll get $50 off. And you'll get to come hang out in a beautiful location in a beautiful part of Maine. And in the evening, if you want to go for a bike ride or a hike or go fly fishing, by the way, my fly tying table is right over there. Some of you in YouTube land might be able to see it. Oh, you can see a little bit of it right there. Okay. So come check it out. You can check it out at practicaledtech.com, and the Practical EdTech Summer Camp link is at the top. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your week. See you next week. We'll do it again.